Guys, you wanna make a tier list? Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Alright. Okay, guys, so we're gonna start off with every class, and if you guys have any questions for me, please do ask me, okay? So we can talk about it, alright? First class on the board that we have Affliction Warlock. We're gonna put Affliction B tier 100%. Now the reason why it's not S tier, because it's not the strongest version. It's not the strongest version of Warlock, which obviously is SL, but we're gonna get to that later. So UA is 100%, you know, interesting one to play. What are the pros and cons, okay? The pros are instant howl, UA, right? Obviously, UA. And if you play like Shade Spec, right, you can play Shadowburn or Feldom. These are the pros, right? Cons, you are very squishy. So to give you an idea, when I play Wotlk with Shade, we have insane burst, insane pressure, because he has that insta howl, he has that UA for protection, and then also you have that shadow burn to create even more momentum. That's what the spec is going for. I haven't been playing with a UA lock, with a deep affliction lock that went with Feldom, so I can't really speak about that, but I'm guessing it's still fun. But the biggest problem is that for most of the time you're just dying really fast, because you have no soul link, obviously. So you're just like insta target and people just train you, you die super quick. This is a very aggressive spec to play. So therefore, we cannot put it on S tier because it's for sure not the best version of Warlock in TBC. We cannot put it on A tier because it's not like a comp that you wanna play and you will see play often. So it will be a B tier, because if you do see it and if you do play it properly and you are skilled with it, then it can be playable for B tier. Therefore, we're gonna put UA lock, Deep Affliction lock, on B tier. So next one is going to be Arcane Mage, okay? Now, we're not talking about Pompyro Mage, we're talking about Arcane Mage. I don't think there's a chance this is like anything viable with it. I have never seen an Arcane Mage in Arena, even at the lowest rating. So the question is it D tier, is it E tier, is it F tier, right? So I personally would say let's put it at E tier, just for the sake of like leaving some option for some other classes, because there's gonna be some worse specs, right? Because realistically it's a mage, so you still could. So I think we're gonna put it in E, because I feel like there's going to be classes that are gonna be worse than Arcane Mage, simply because it's a mage, right? So for Arcane Mage, pros, what are the pros? I guess big dam, this is the only benefit, but negatives or cons are basically so many. No barrier, one block, no pet. So yeah, I mean, basically the pros are you have big damage with Arcane Power and Pom, so you could realistically do a lot of damage, but at the same time, you don't have any defense. Like defensively, you're extremely weak. And we're gonna put it in E tier, because you could still play Mage Rogue with this spec as well. Alright guys, next up, we leave the Arcane Mage, okay? Arms Warrior. Chat, what are we thinking? What are we thinking, boys? Are we thinking a big S? A big A tier? A big S tier? Of course, we're gonna give it a big S tier, guys. We're gonna give the Warriors a big S tier. No shot? Okay, A tier. A tier, okay, A tier. Okay, A tier. Okay, A tier. Okay, A tier, guys. Relax. We're gonna give it a little A tier, okay? But if it's Aussie, where do you put it? If it's Aussie, where do you put it? Do you put it on S tier if it's Aussie? We're talking about majority here, okay? But I'm asking, if it's Aussie, you put it S tier. What are the pros as a warrior, guys? Let's hear you. What are the pros as a warrior, okay? Mortal Strike. True. Mace stance if playing with mace. Tanky, sure, tanky can be tanky, that is true. So this is the pros, okay? You have Mortal Strike, healing reduction. You have mace stance if you're playing with mace, of course. Also, if you play with Storm Herald, you have another extra chance to get those mace stance, right? You got intervenes, you're tanky, you got spell reflects if you're playing that spec, of course. So that you can get that rage when you swap stance, and improve hamstring. This is what makes a warrior extremely annoying, because they rely on procs. Warriors, they rely on procs. They rely on spam hamstring, so they proc and improve hamstring and proc a mace stun. Cons: easy to get CC and kited, lack of mobility. You know, roots, novas, ships, anything. You're getting so much CC'd as a warrior that sometimes you're sitting there and you're watching your teammate get played. You know, there's this little video, I don't know if you guys know that. And this is the warrior, guys. Basically, guys, you as a warrior, you are CC'd all the time. Alright, chat, let's move on to the next one. What is this? Is this an Asa? I think this is an Asa rogue, right? Asa rogue is low-key a joke. Asa fucking rogue is a meme spec from every way you look at it, guys, okay? We are gonna put that shit in fucking... We're gonna put it in E, bro. Just because it's a rogue, okay? We are gonna put that in E just because it's a fucking rogue, okay? And rogue is OP. It must be higher than... Are you sure it must be higher than Arcane mage? Can't give this shit anything higher, bro. Bro, how do you even play Asa rogue? Okay, we put it on D tier. No. I like this. I'll tell you why, okay? I'll tell you why later, okay? We're gonna make Asa rogue a D tier. What are the pros? What are the pros, bro? What do you even get at Asa? You get mutilated. This shit costs 60 energy, bro. You cheap shot, you do one mutilate and you're donezo. Like, what do? You have cold blood, mutilate, giga burst in stuns. That's the most I can give. Cons: no shadow step, no prep, cheated, 0 mobility, blind 3 min city. Holy shit! You have 10 extra energy. That is for sure a point. Never mind, we take this off. I think that's enough time invested on this meme spec, huh? We're gonna leave that and we're gonna move on to the next one, okay? A little boomkin in the motherfucking building, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is like a deep boomkin, yeah? Oh, that's gonna be crazy. We give that B tier 100% because druid, if you guys can agree with me, is arguably an S tier in TBC, right? Druid is 100% an S tier in TBC. But boomkin specifically is... So what are the pros of boomkin? Dream state talent, moonkin form, big damn. Shit, bro. I think that's about it, right? Okay, so cons. What are the cons? Okay, lack of heals. So no charge, lack of heals, no swiftment. Alright, well, I guess we're done with that, guys, right? We agree it's a B tier only because it's a druid. And druid, as we all know, it's a S tier in TBC. It's one of the best classes in Burning Crusade that you can play. So that's where we're gonna leave it with boomkin. And we're just gonna move on to the next one. BM Hunter, ladies and gentlemen. And there's no way we can't put BM Hunter. It's 100%, I think, a B tier, guys. Better than other B tiers. Better than, I agree, it's better. Then we're gonna do like this then. Because... that's better too. What are the pros for BM Hunter? Bestial Rat, motherfucker. Okay. Insane Burst. Pet Stun. Pet Stun also. Really good against double DPS teams. Okay, now the cons. What are the cons? Very weak after Bestial Rat. No CC. No Scatter, Silence, Wyvern. No defensives. I agree with that. It's squishy, no defensives, no deterrence. So, pros. Bestial Rat, 18-second immune to CC, slow stuns, everything. Insane Burst, Pet Stun, really good against double DPS. Minuses, very weak after Bestial Rat cities, no Scatter, Silence, Wyvern, squishy, no defensives. Alright, next up in the line, guys, we're gonna have a little combat rogue and it goes straight into D sector again. So only because it's a rogue, guys, we're gonna put it into D tier. What are the pros and what are the cons? Okay, so pros: Blade Fury, AoE damage. No need to Mac. Yes, bro, that is true. No need to respect for PV. You guys are funny. I love it. Adrenaline Rush. So Mace Stuns, Spec Procs, Blade Fury for AoE damage, Adrenaline Rush. I mean, realistically, let's think about it, okay? If you pop Adrenaline Rush... No, sorry. If you pop Blade Fury, Adrenaline Rush, and then you, like, vanish cheap and they're all stuck together, and then you start pumping damage, and you basically, like, AoE both of them down. You know, that can be a huge thing, you know? But, like, how often is that gonna happen? Like, you're legit... The cons are all the same cons. Like, this is the cons. No step, prep. What is your spec? Like, 41? And then what do? Like, no premeditation, no cheat death, no shadow step, 0 mobility. Like, you're just Lost. Improved sprint, that is a pro. Imp sprint removes all impairing. And you have prep. Or you have premeditation. Prep, sorry, you have prep. So we remove prep from here. Also, kick has a silence. Bro, what? Silence with kick. For 2 sec. Blanket. Blanket. Right? It's a blanket kick. Yes, yes. Holy fuck. This looks so much more better than the Rogue. Let's be honest. It looks so much more better, bro. I might even actually try that shit. Like, this is crazy. You don't have to do Sinister Strike because you're gonna be 31-30. You're gonna get the Blade Fury. You're gonna get the Adrenaline. You're gonna get the Hemo. Send me a spec, guys, right now. Send me the Harp spec. Yeah, so you got 2. Bro, look at this. It's actually insane, bro. Like, we just saw it, bro. It's right here. Look at that, bro. Slice, improved slice, evasion, improved sprint, which is big. You got the mace stuns, you got the kick, you got the adrenaline rush. What does that shit give you? You have increased stamina and agility, okay. Offhand damage increase. You play ghost this way? You can take stun resist. Was that the stun resist? So instead of this, yeah, bro. Well, fuck, yeah, man. Bro, imagine you play Harp spec and you get the 5% stun resist meta. So you're like 15% stun resist, bro. Oh my god, this is insane, no? Orc? Oh my god, bro. This actually sounds crazy. Okay, we're gonna time our stuff now. We don't even care if he heals at the moment. Okay, proc everything. Pow, pow, pow. Get out here. Mace stun. I just do a blanket. Yo! What? It's actually crazy. We are gonna come back to this later. That's crazy, actually. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so next spec, guys, is Demonology. This is a Demonology. Now, I'm not sure what do we do with Demonology. Like, is there like deep Demonology that we can have? Because like we have SL thingy, like it's with Felguard, but Felguard doesn't really help, right? Because look, we have here SL lock. Deep Demo, I guess we still put it in a good tier because it's still a lock, right? With Souling. I guess we put it in C tier, no? What do we think, chat, about Deep Demo? I guess he's more tanky. Bro, you don't get any other benefits, like it's the same. As a matter of fact, you lack things. You don't get Siphon Life, no Shadow Bolt procs. No slowkers. Yeah, you don't get shit, bro. You get nothing. You play Shadow Burn like this. Is that the spec? I guess they go for Shadow Burn. You get Shadow Burn, okay. So for Demonology Warlock, okay, we have Deep Demonology spec. The pros are that you get Soul Link. You're still very tanky, obviously, because you have Slow Link. You get Fell Dome with this spec, which is a great feature. You still go for Nightfall, for instant Shadow Ball procs. You don't get Siphon Life though, and you don't have Slow Curse, so I guess you're not that optimized with damage, rotating your dots and everything. No, maybe this is a bit of a negative. I guess it's a loss if you play that, because you don't get some other things that you could, simply because Felguard is not something that you really want to play. Anyways, most of the time you're going to be playing Fell Hunter, because if people see that you don't have Fell Hunter, they're like, oh, you know, I can just free cast. You know, it's basically you're no longer that scary warlock that everybody is afraid of, but instead you're just this, you know, potentially scary person that has a Felguard that doesn't do shit. You know, like who cares for that Felguard? So the assessment is Deep Demo is no good, but it's still decent, I guess, because it's a warlock after all with Soul Link and Feldom, so you could make it a bit problematic for people regardless of the fact that you're not playing with this. It is 100% you can't put it above Arcane Mage when you're saying you can't even use the Capstone talent. You know what? We put it next to the Arcane Mage. I mean, this is the same. I put this because it's Arcane Mage. It's just definitely not a spec that you would want to play. There's better specs for you to play, so why would you play that? Okay, next up in line is gonna be the little Destruction spec, guys. What do we do with Destro, guys? I mean, realistically, C. I think Destro is a C. I think we gotta put Destro on C tier, guys. C is fair. And here's the reason why I'm gonna put it on C, okay? Same like Lock Rogue, Affliction UA Lock. You could only play this with a mage. Like we saw that on the tournament where Jigsaw and Old Waffle played Lock Mage. You have instant cast for Immolate. You're immune to Shadow Fire proc. You have an AoE stun, Shadow Fury. You have Fell Dome, so you can go for, you know, another Fell Hunter. You have double kick if you want to. You know, you could definitely like use that in a way to help yourself. So for sure, Destro is like bursty. It's about like the, you know, like I guess instant damage here and there. Sometimes you cast, but mostly it's not like you dot so much, but it's about like you doing burst, either cast damage or instant damage, depending what comb you play and what opportunities you get to do that. Again though, on the other hand, what are the cons is that you are not tanky because no soul link. What are the cons in my opinion is the fact that you have no soul link puts you in a spot where you're squishy, the same as Affliction Warlock, and you are targeted most of the time, therefore you can die extremely easily, right? And this is where the Affliction Warlock also stays in place. You're targeted most of the time, you die easily, you don't have soul link, you're not chilling, and if you're not free to free cast, then you're basically doing no damage. That's kind of like how I understand it, so I think there's nothing more to add to that. Next up in line, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about this big discipline priest, ladies and gentlemen. What are we thinking, boys? Are we thinking a little S tier or a little A tier? What are we thinking? Of course it's an S tier, ladies and gentlemen. Priest is an absolute fucking god S tier, okay? Yeah, it's A plus, we're not gonna go that far. We are not gonna go that far, bro, okay? But discipline priest is for sure an S tier in Burning Crusade, guys. It's so fucking powerful. It's crazy strong. And so we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of Discipline Priest, okay? There's so many things that we can add in the Discipline Priest in the pros, okay? The way we're going to do it is talk about the most important ones, which are going to be what? First of all, you have Pain Suppression. Extremely huge defensive. Power Infusion. It can be used, again, offensively, defensively. You know, if you play with a mage, you could give him that, you know, big haste, you know, casting like crazy. You're very flexible with Priest because you can help with damage, you can be healing, you know, you can do offensive dispels, you could control very well, you could do, you know, fears, mind controls, you can do burns. There's a lot of combos that you can play with Discipline Priest. You have offensive dispels. You can dispel enemies, you can dispel teammates. You have mass dispel, which is a great thing as well. If we're talking about cons, what are the cons? My biggest worry in the cons is mana management. No dispel poisons, needs to drink. You know, the main factor is that you struggle a lot with mana. Like, you could do so much as long as you have mana, but once you have no mana, then it's really awkward. Okay, so we had low mobility. Low mobility, you guys are right. You guys are right. The rest of druids and shamans, they have mobility. Alright, let's move on to the next one. It's gonna be Elemental Shaman. I think Elemental Shaman can go in C tier. You can't really play Elemental Shaman in 2v2. I don't see what you can play Ele Shaman with that will be good. But I know that you could play Ele in 3s. Like this Cancer comp that we're facing, it's Ele Shaman, Hunter, and Resto Druid. It's so annoying to face. So we're gonna put it in C tier, Elemental Shaman, because of 3s and 5s, because there are some combos that you can play with Elemental Shaman. Okay, chat. Pros and cons for Ele Shaman. So we have big burst, decent mobility, wolf form. You can be offensive and defensive with healing. Totems, utility totems can also do off healing. Exactly, that's about it. Cons, what are the cons? Mana issue. No dev cooldowns. Needs to cast. Yeah, that's true. Needs to cast. Think of something else. If not, we're moving to Enhancement Shaman. And I want to see what you guys are gonna put Enhancement Shaman as, okay? Okay, so pros. Decent mobility. Wolf form. High damage output. That is true. Utility totems interrupt can off heal as well. Shamanistic rage defensive. Mana retention. For mana retention. The cons are no consistent slow for a melee class. No healing reduction, damage RNG dependent based on Wind Fury proc. Mana issues, no stuns, no CC, only interrupts. Actually, no stuns, no CC, that's basically what it is. Also, what are our negatives? Can be CC'd a lot. Purge also, I agree with that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the next one. Feral Druid. Without any further ado, this has to be an A tier right off the get-go. There's nothing to say, there's nothing to do. It's not an S tier, that's for sure. It's most definitely not a B tier, and it's much better than all these B tier comps, and that is why we're gonna put Pharaoh on A tier, and I'm sure that everyone here is going to agree that Pharaoh is an absolute A tier minimum. I don't think it has it for for S tier, but I think A tier is just fine for a Pharaoh Druid. B tier, but it has to be the first of B tier. It has to be much better than all of these other things. That's the only way I can agree to it. But you know what? He's right though. You know what? White Lies is right. White Lies is right, AVX, because we're not talking about, like, if we talk about Warrior, then we might as well put Warrior on S tier because it's Azzy on it, right? But then the majority is not Azzy. A tier after Warrior, it isn't better. You're just thinking about Spotman. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're just thinking about Spotman. So if we're talking about the majority, you can only play Pharaoh Rogue. Discipline Pharaoh is not really a comp that you can play. It's not great. No. I cannot put it. Listen, the only way I can agree to this is I can put it above BMs. I can only put it before BMs. They're just way too strong. They have way too much utility. There's way too many things that you can do. It's a god class in a 1v1. You're probably not going to lose a 1v1 as a Pharaoh. Doesn't matter who you face, what you face. You're surely going to win. BM Hunter is just like a, also, sure, it's very strong, but like it's very cooldown dependent. Pharaohs, they can still play resto, they can still play defensive, they're extremely good offensive and defensive. They can swap weapons, heal a lot as well, blooms and everything. You're practically like a resto druid as a Pharaoh druid. So just for that reason, because you have a lot of survivability, you can be extremely good offensive, you can be extremely good defensive. You have bear charge for kick, you have cyclones, you have roots, you have everything, the whole utility. Personally, I'm okay to give Pharaoh A tier, but I can only think of one Pharaoh, and we all know who that is, right? Okay, guys, we move on to Fire Mage. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the Fire Mage going to be like? Please do tell me right now, guys. What do we put Fire Mage as? Like, we're talking about Combustion Mage. We're not talking about Pom Mage, we're talking about Fire Mage. Okay, so if we can compare Arcane Mage compared to Fire Mage, what's better? And if they're about the same, then how can we give Fire Mage more than we can give Arcane Mage? Same as Arcane Mage. I personally agree with all I can tell. Same as Arcane Mage, bro. This shit goes into the bin immediately. As a matter of fact, Arcane is better because Arcane has Arcane Power and Pomp, where Fire has what? Pyroblast, Blast Wave, Combustion, who the fuck cares? So the pros are what? You have Blast Wave, Combustion, Dragon's Breath as a Fire Mage. You also have Blazing Speed, which is a great thing. Improved Blink, Stun procs, not terrible compared to Arcane Mage. The cons are you have better survivability than Arcane Mage, but still weak compared to Frost Mage, no barrier, one ice block, no pet. And in order to have big damage, you also need to cast Scorch, so you can get that improved debuff for plus 3% damage, and you can stack that up to 5 times, and therefore you can do big burst after that, but you still need to cast for big damage. So difficult to sort TBC class specs, to be honest. This is a tough task overall. That is indeed the case, bro. It's not easy to do, and probably if we just talk about the main classes and the viable specs, it's gonna be much easier to, just say this is that, that's better, that's not. But if we talk about all specs, it kind of gets a bit complex. But still, we want to do it for the fun. Maybe some people are gonna see this and they're gonna be like, hey, I was thinking to play this, maybe I shouldn't play this, or what are my chances if I really play that, right? So we're gonna give people a better chance to understand what's really best for them and what's not. But, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, look at what we have next here. Absolutely amazing. Do we put that in the bin? Do we put that in the F tier? What do you say, chat? Do we put that in the F tier? Where do we put that, chat? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're not gonna fuck around. Insta S tier. Insta S tier. A tier? What? Solid E? Oh my god, you guys are crazy in your mind, boys. S tier. Unplayable until season 4 with haste. What, you don't think Mage is S tier? You guys don't think Mage is S tier, boys? What? Are you for real? You wouldn't treat Pharaoh? Okay, you guys are capping. Okay, so the pros for Frost Mage are gonna be what? First, you have improved Blizzard, Frostbites, Pet Nova. Utility-wise is huge. You have Cold Snap, double Pet, double Ice Block, double Barrier, double Nova, obviously reset. Offensive-wise, you have 2 Icy Veins with haste. Burst-wise, you have Big Shatters with Pulse Ball Presents combo, 3 schools of casting, and this is also the same. We cannot add those like that, guys, because all the others have them. So obviously frost mages are a lot better in terms of like survivability, defensive, utility wise. You know, cold snap, 2 pets, you know, 2 blocks, 2 icy veins, improved blizzard. This is why, chat, we kept the F tier available for classes like this, or for specs like this, for fucking Fury Warrior, bro. This shit goes in the bin immediately, guys. Fury Warrior, not viable. That's actually true. I like that. Alright, then we have, what is this? Is this Holy Priest? This is fucking Holy Priest, right? That shit goes into the bin right away. Or, no wait, that's not a priest, that's Chocolate, bro. Or that's Holy. That's Holy. Yeah, that's a Holy paladin. Like a low B tier. Yeah, it's not C. Better than C, 100% better. Okay, good variety. Bob, Bubble, Freedom, Sack, Slow Judgment, Stun. Gentle Proc. Those are not special for Holy. Okay, well what does Holy Pala have then? Yes, actually you're right. You know what? I like that. Low mana cost spells, high utility on all specs, decent burst. I agree that. What are the cons? Cons are and high armor are good. High armor. Okay, cons are has to cast. That's the biggest one. Difficult mana retention. Sure, difficult mana retention. Okay, holy fucking priest. I'm not adding more to the party here, by the way. There's no more things that I can add. Like, realistically, what else am I gonna add? Holy priest, do we put that shit in the bin, guys? I mean, you're never gonna see it in arena, right? We just put that shit in the bin. What do you mean not viable? I mean, bro, holy priest viable for PvP, bro? What are you gonna do with holy priest exactly? No. This is what? This is a Marksman hunter? Has to go B-tier, I think 100%. I cannot put this on A tier. Go A, high B, sure, I agree with that statement. Oh, on A, on Warmane, it's right here. Like this. All hunters are like this on Warmane. That's funny. Good utility, such as Silence Shot, Scatter Shot, overall many interrupts. Viper's thing is a general thing. Consistent damage. Very good against healer teams. Heal reduction. Hard to set up good damage, I guess. Can we just set it like this? And can kite well. I guess con hard to set up good damage is a con actually, you're right. Lack of defensives. Scatter plus silence defensively. I guess that's all. Alright, let's do Pompyro. Fucking Pompyro, guys. What do we think about Pompyro? There's no way we can put Pompyro above Warrior. We cannot put it on S tier. At best, we can put it on B tier. Now, I'm not sure if it's gonna be in the same order. Like, I'm not putting them in order exactly like they are because they're different classes, different specs, and everything. But I think Pompyro deserves a B tier. Big them with Pom, improved blink. Blazing speed as well, that is actually true. Stump procs, do they have also stump procs? I think they do, right? Stump procs. They have stump procs, correct guys? Stump procs. Alright, so Pompyro, big damage with Arcane power plus Pom, improved blink, blazing speed, stump procs. Cons? Well, the cons are better survivability compared to Arcane, but still weak compared to Frost Mage, 1 barrier only, 1 block, no pet. And in order to have big damage, you need to stack Scorch buff, right? So that you get that increased damage on the target, and obviously you need to cast. You can still kill though, however, on the other hand, because Pompyro can, you know, if you have a good moment, like a full CS moment on the healer, and you send like a big Pompyro, and you know, if you play with your shaman, goes for like NS chain lighting or something, you guys can one-shot somebody. I think that's a good assessment. We're not even gonna spend any more time of it. It's for sure a great B tier. And now, Resto Shamans, guys. What do we put Resto Shamans on? What do we put Resto Shamans on now? I think it's also a B tier, right? It has to be a B tier. I guess in the beginning, Resto... I don't know. I'm really wondering. I feel like it's a low A tier, high B tier, but probably not like in the first seasons, but like later on. Because let's be honest, after season 3, they have such an increase of armor. They get BM. In season 4, they get Vio, so they get progressively stronger. No, you could play Pompyro, Resto Shaman, you can play Red Resto Shaman, you can play Resto Shaman Warrior as well. In 3s you can play Melee Cleave with Red Warrior, Resto Shaman, you can play Shatter, you can play You have a variety, bro. Double heal, yeah. Shadowplay, double heal warrior isn't bad. Exactly. There's a lot of combos that you can play with the Resto Shaman. I think that's a fair assessment for Resto. For pros, pros are really high armor, decent mobility, purge, utility of totems, interior of big heals, NS and good mana management retention with shield swapping. Also can be used offensively in the right moment. NS can be used offensively in the right moment with NS plus shock, NS chain light plus shock for aggressive kill. Okay, guys, next one, please. Let's wrap this up and we call it, okay? It's going to be Resto Druid. Without any further ado, I think we even put it in S tier, first spot, right here, Resto Druids. There's nothing to talk about this. We know that Resto is the absolute go-to, the absolute best class in TBC. That is actually true. Season 1, Resto Druids are kind of weak. Season 2, A+, yes, and then Season 3... No, even in Season 2 is starting to get really strong. No BM. Becomes really strong after, yes. So if we have to be specific, you're right. Season 1, I would definitely not put it in S tier. I would put it in A tier. But in Season 2, and especially after that, Season 3, due to BM, you know, better gear and so on, you don't even have to go for 2 set anymore for that crazy resilience and so on. It is definitely a S tier. But just for the sake of it, because we're talking for overall, right, we're gonna put Druid on S tier, because we're talking about all season. We're not gonna talk about specifically, you know, Season 1 or Season 2, 3 or 4. But you're right, in Season 1, Resto Druids are definitely not the strongest in their, you know, in their form. They lack of gear, they die very easily, so on and so on. Overall, more priests got rank 1 than druids. Yes, so therefore we're just gonna put Resto Druid as S tier, like in the far back. Okay, so Resto Druid is gonna be on a lower end S tier for simplest reason that in Season 1 it's very squishy, easy target to be killed, and it's not the best at the best shape as in later seasons. So therefore we're gonna put it still in S tier because it becomes really strong later. It has great comps and a big variety of comps that can be played with. The pros are gonna be that you have 3 form, good for casting heals and maintaining hots in the form. Great healing utility, Swiftman plus NS, variety of interrupts such as Bear Charge, also Stun, Cyclone, Root, Hibernate, so on. Big variety of comps to play with, great mobility with all forms, can kite a lot, good damage output. And now the cons are no slows, it's very squishy in Season 1 and a bit in Season 2, simply because you don't have a lot of health, a lot of resilience, no Battle Master since it comes in Season 3. Can be often swapped, no dispels, only decurs, so that is a bit of a, you know, miss, but still pretty good, you know. Vulnerable to dispels, so therefore you have to protect often, and 3 form also can be banished. So this is like the cons on the druid. Alright guys, let's move on to the next one. We have paladins. Okay guys, red paladin. So the pros are you need a shaman for Wind Fury and Purge, random one shots, the casino of course, have to seal twist to do damage, has also rep besides Hotch, which is a big thing so you can connect. And the cons are difficult mana retention, you rely on RNG a lot of the times, especially when you play Reckoning Spec and not Crusader Strike. Once you're room, it's really difficult to do much. Alright guys, next one, Shadow Priest. So guys, the way I see it, okay, so here's 2 things that I'm thinking. I cannot put Priest in B tier, because it's not B tier. But I'm also thinking, how do I compare Holy Pala with the rest of Shaman and have them in the same tier list? I mean, surely Shadow Priest is better than those specs here, right? It's more viable. Yeah, low B tier. It's rank 1 viable, that's true. You have to snipe a lot, you have to do crazy things, but yeah. What are the pros and cons for Shadow Priest, guys? So Shadow Priest, the pros are you have silence every 45 seconds, you have Mind Flay to slow, Vampiric Touch, that doesn't do much, unlike in Wrath of the Lich King, consistently high damage output, utility, offensive, defensive dispels, can also get good RNG with Blackout Stuns, can also off-heal a lot. The biggest con, retaining mana, no escapes, relies on Pierce. Alright. Without doubt. There's nothing to say, nothing to do, nada. Put him on the S tier, and that's it. Nothing to say, nothing to do, right chat? We all can agree, SL lock, easy S tier. A+? I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind if it's gonna be S tier or A tier. They're insanely strong and they're close to the top. The fact is that facing a warrior as Wotlk is arguably the worst shit that can happen to you as a warrior. So let's talk about basic stuff, okay? Because obviously there's like very detailed things that we can talk about. We can go really deep. We're talking overall here stuff. What is the difference between the specs? The difference here in SL Wotlk is, first of all, the pros is that you have Soul Link, just like in the other demo spec. Unlike with Deep Affliction and Deep Destruction, you don't have Soul Link, so obviously you're not as tanky, you're very squishy, you're most of the time the target, and you die extremely easily, right? You have Feldom also besides of that. You have Nightfall proc, you have that Siphon Life as well. You have that Slow Curse so that you can slow people. As well with that being extremely tanky, you know. You are good defensively because you have that Hellstone, have that Coil just like in the other specs as well. And, you know, spammable fears. Now, the cons, lack of mobility, too reliant on pet, and your pet management. Those are the three things that can screw you up and kill you. Okay guys, we're moving on to the God tier class, and that's the last two classes that we're checking. It's the S for Subtlety, ladies and gentlemen, in the motherfucking lair. Let's see what you guys got about that. So, for Subtlety, the pros for Subtlety are that you have a bunch of CC, a bunch of stuns, great mobility, sprint, shadow step, preparation for 2 sets of cooldowns, evasion, sprint, vanish. You have a great burst and consistent damage output, deadly throwing troops, variety of offensive and defensive cooldowns, variety of poisons, slow poison, you know, healing reduction poison, cast slow poison. As a sub, you also get cheat death, which is a great thing. Premeditation for 2 extra combo points coming from stealth. And the biggest thing is that Shadow Step is actually usable in Roots and in Nova.
What the fuck, stream?
The cons, on the other hand, is that you're very CD reliant, and if you have no CDs, you're in a terrible spot as a rogue. You're practically useless because you can't really do much. You're very gear dependent, unlike other classes that can go for full PvP. You must raid for PvE gear. The biggest issue is that no one wants you in the raids, in groups in general, so it's really hard and you're probably doomed. I think we did it, guys. Are we forgetting anything else? Alright guys, I'm gonna go call it. It's way too late. This took way longer than I expected, but at least I'm happy that we got it done. Maybe we're gonna do a small edit of that, so I think I'm just gonna call it here, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Alright guys, have a good night, stick around for the raid, and yeah, good night guys, peace.